to our reading for the Uranus in Taurus retrograde and what is returning to you. Before we start doing anything, I'd like us to get in some cozy, relaxed space. So if you have to pause this and get yourself something to drink or snack on while you watch this reading, then let's do that now and come back to me when you're ready. All right, friends. We're in an interesting little in-between space right now. I'm here with some lemonade, and at the same time, I'm putting little autumn leaves on the reading board. So let's get us all cozy and wrap us all. I'm going to wrap us all in love light and light love, inviting in the guides who overlight this channel, Archangel Michael, Archangel Metatron, the Pleiadians. If you've been with me for a while, you know I like to do my readings kind of up and moving about. Things I see or encounter as I'm guided to move and do things and set cards down are all part of the reading. So put on your master senses as you're relaxing into this, and maybe things you don't hear me say, or maybe things you see on the board, or maybe some things I say resonate more than others. You know, take what speaks to you and I guess leave the rest. Let's go ahead and call this reading into action. Let's take a deep breath together. Talk about this Uranus retrograde. So Uranus in Taurus, it's going to be here for quite some time. We're almost like at the halfway point of how long this planet has been in this sign. It started in 2018 and it's going to go to 2026. So it's not anything that we haven't already experienced over the past, 4 years? So I guess it just continues to amplify. So I'm a little interested in what things are coming back to us as part of this Uranus retrograde in Taurus for 2022 is when this is recorded. This reading may also carry the energies of the new moon in Virgo, because that will be coming up here in 3 days, I believe. And we just entered Virgo season. And so there's a lot of different things going on, as there always is in the astrology. Today we are diffusing. I just intuitively chose, and usually if I'm going to show the cards, you know, my hand kind of comes in from the left. But we've got Little Genius. It wants to focus. The camera wants to focus on the candle. We've got Little Genius that wanted to be diffused, and it's like aromatherapy for kids. But I see a globe and ABC letters and a worm and an apple, and it says focus. And we've got yellow and red and what is that? Like a turquoise stripe. So for me, it means some of the main chakras affected or activated during this retrograde are the solar plexus, the root, and the throat chakra. So that is going to be quite interesting to see how that plays out. I'm being guided to walk back over here. So we're in Taurus, Uranus retrograde in Taurus. And so I feel like there's some things going on with, you know, obviously Taurus is about beauty and beautification and of yourself and your surroundings. And I was just guided to go put on another ring, my goddess ring, because I felt like it was missing from my finger. So I was guided to go like put on more. Like I wear this jewelry every day, but I just kind of, I just felt like I forgot to put this one on. So I had to put another ring on. The other thing that came up as I was preparing for this reading was Lemuria. I have, I'm wearing, what do I want to say? Like touchstones of some of my Lemurian guides. And I was going to take them off and switch them out with some other ones, because a lot of the, some of the spirit guides I work with are energetically bound to little beads and so forth. And so like this ring is a Lemurian merman. And I was like, I'm going to switch out the guides and work with somebody different, because I have so many of these guides. If you follow me from TLC for the Soul, you know, I have like 30 some odd, 40 of these guides that I got from Spirit Guide Auction. And I was going to like remove all the Lemurian ones and work with some different guides, and none of them wanted to go. And they're all divine masculine energies is what I find interesting. There's a healing fae, a Lemurian healing fae, a Hawaiian Huna gargoyle, yeah, and a Lemurian fae. And I was like, maybe I'll, and they're all masculine energies. They're all masculine, like spirit, so to speak. And I was going to take them off. And I was like, no, we want to keep working with you. So the divine feminine and the divine masculine continuing to work together. Even if you're by yourself, like even if you're a solitary, not a solitary practitioner, but even if you're single right now is what I'm hearing, and you feel like, you know, either you don't want someone in your life right now, or maybe you're waiting on a special someone, because Valentina did also come in. So this is our romance. She's not really a troll. She's like a little fairy, or a little romance fairy. And I was getting ready for this reading, picking the decks that I wanted to use, and she fell off my altar space onto the floor. So I would say, even if who you want to be is not here right now with you, you have the opportunity to work with whoever you choose. And so, for example, I chose all these divine masculine guides, and I'm like, well, I'm just going to surround myself with the divine masculine in etheric form, since it's a little lacking here in physical 3D form. So anyway, so that may be something that's coming up for you. It's like you don't have to do it alone. Even if you feel like in your 3D world that there's something missing, you're not alone. Your guides are always here to support you. And I actually kind of got great strength from having all this and I found that each one of these represents a different direction. So I kind of had like, you know, this guide to my north, the other one to my south, east and west, like surrounding me. And I found great strength and divine protection from setting them up that way. So these are just some things before we even get into cards about some things you can play with during this Uranus retrograde. You know, just try something new and try something fun, because on this channel, all my work, no matter how you come to me, if you come to me from my books and my Bringers of Light book series or any of the other book series that I write, I've got, I don't know, 15 some odd different published books right now in fiction and nonfiction. If you come to me from my card decks, if you come to me from my TLC for the Soul channel or the podcast on some other podcast provider, no matter how you get here, it's all about wherever you come from and wherever you've seen me. It's all about child's play, living like a magical life, and I don't know where I'm headed with that. It's just what it is. All right, let's start here. Let's actually get a starter card going. Like, what's the first card that wants to be on the table for this Uranus retrograde? So they're saying flower. So the majority of the decks used on this channel are my own decks. If you're new here, the 4 decks on the table right now: Bubble Bubble, Love Land, Twin Hearts, Happy Cloud. These are all my decks. All of my decks are available exclusively through the Game Crafter. Those links as well are in the show notes of this show. Everything I talk about, if you want to read my books, all my ebooks are free to read. You can read those. The links to all that are in my profile. But the first card out wants to be a flower therapy card. So this is from the Flower Therapy deck by Robert Reeves. And Uranus retrograde. What's coming back to us? This Uranus retrograde. So the card we got, I haven't turned it over yet. I'm like, do I want to see it? The card we got is, oh, Mysteria. Time to decide. Make a decision now so you can move forward. It's purple. It's about trusting what's coming to you, because purple and white to me is all crown chakra, trusting and surrendering. And look, we're putting it on top of this little purple guy in the center of our space here. And let me see, I want you guys to be able to see the cards a little tiny bit better, so I'm going to zoom in just a little bit more. Time to decide. Time to decide what? They're saying time to decide that you're worthy. You're worthy. It's not like time to decide necessarily A versus B kind of a thing. It's like, when are you going to decide that you're worthy? And when you do, when you choose yourself first, then you always choose what you love. And it's like a coming back to you. Taurus is second house energy. It doesn't necessarily have a specific, well, it's more like home and, you know, what is Taurus? Sensuality and passion. It's like a Pentacles energy to me. It's like an earth energy. Your home, your family, I say relationships, even though technically it's like family relationships. They're saying romance too. It's like when you choose you, then everything around you falls into place, is what I'm hearing. So the catalyst here is to choose yourself. And when you choose yourself, everything else follows. Now this retrograde starts on the day that I'm recording this, August 24th, and it goes all the way into, I believe, the first week of January of 2023. So we've got quite some time to be working with these energies. And it's like, I guess, during Virgo season, it's like double Earth, because it's Uranus and Taurus, and we also have Virgo, which is all about, you know, practicality and making lists and checking things off and getting things done. It's like the project manager of the zodiac. So let's draw some more cards. Why are they directing me to Twin Hearts? All right, Twin Hearts is really my deck for soul flames and divine counterparts. So this is Twin Hearts. I'm going to just draw and build off of this Uranus retrograde and what it's bringing for all of us. I got 2 cards. I got, great, lay down and hold me for a while. And I want to reconnect with you. Please don't shut me out. Reconnect or reconnection. What's returning to you? All right, lay down and hold me for a while always comes up for me. It's like a self-care, self-love kind of card. More so than, it's like yourself saying, come back to me. Lay down and just hold me for a while. Just be with me. Just allow what's going to come, because again, when you choose yourself, then you are blocking out external stimulus and stimuli and other things, or at least I would, as part of this time period, take some time every month to go within. And as I'm filming this right now, I'm doing that. I'm doing what I call an experiential. We do those a lot over on my TLC for the Soul channel. And this one I'm doing is kind of like a monastery / abbey experiential, where I've created a sacred space around my home as if it were an abbey or monastery, because I want it to be very quiet, very contemplative, as I touch into these energies of what's happening right now. So on the one side, we've got the lay down and hold me for a while, but we also have, I want to reconnect with you, please don't shut me out. And when this card comes up, it is speaking about reunion type energy, reconnections, things from the past, like people from the past coming back. And when I say the past, it may be like long ago. It's not recent past. It's either long ago in your past, like childhood coming back, or it's past life coming back and you don't know them in this lifetime type thing. So it's like a reunion type of energy. And what may be happening right now with this is maybe that individual has not physically shown up in your reality, but they're connecting with you on the 5D. And there's a lot of they're saying fruitful labor to be happening there in that space. A lot of healing work and things that can be done until divine timing it comes into play to bring this person into your physical reality. So I would explore that if you are consistently feeling like you're connecting with an energy on the other side. And it doesn't have to be romantic. It could be a passed on loved one. It could be a passed on pet or something. But whoever it is, whatever it is, they have something to teach you and something that they want to work with you on. So they're asking to just open up to that energy. And I do feel like with each passing day and some of these astrological transits and things that happens, that our own internal veil as well as the veil to the planet continues to thin, and we are more easily able to have these types of interactions with folks from the other side. It's just quite interesting. Let's get a tarot card then. We're going to use, and I find myself with this Uranus retrograde, as soon as it hit today, yesterday's energy was very action-packed and oriented, and I had to do a lot of driving very far and get like service for my car, and I'll do all these errands and stuff, and I feel like I was getting all these errands and things done to prepare me for like the next week or so of integrating these retrograde energies in, because it's just all of a sudden today everything just like slowed down like syrupy molasses. I feel like I'm moving slowly. I feel like I am doing like things around the monastery, like, you know, gardening and getting stuff taken care of and like beautifying my sanctuary. So that continues, but I find that it's moving very slow, and there's like this inward focus, like this little genius speaks to. All right, this is tarot at the end of the rainbow. Let's get on a few tarot cards. It's coming back as a result of this Uranus retrograde. Oh, there it is again. More confirmation. 6 of Cups. Reunion energy, things coming back from the past. So what's coming back is like nostalgia, things from the past, childhood memories. There's a lot of nostalgia energy around right now, and I don't think that Uranus retrograde is the only thing that's causing it. I think there's a Chiron retrograde going on, and there's a couple of other outer planets and transits doing things that are bringing up this nostalgia energy, because it's been around now for at least a week or so. Every now and then, you know, something just pops up and I'm like, oh, and it may not always be sad. It could just be funny. Like, oh, remember when I used to go to that restaurant all the time? Like all of these things are kind of like popping back up again. All right, let's move this little card up here. This is super sweet. And then we are kind of putting it on the when you choose yourself first, you move forward. And it's showing it more like friendships here in this deck, though. Like this little boy, who is he? little fawn and this little fairy girl. And yellow roses come up a lot, have been coming up a lot on the channel. And yellow roses is a sign of friendship, not necessarily romance. However, in the background, I see these as like chakras, little bouquets in a way. So your mind's eye may be focused on a particular cup, and that may be a particular chakra that you're going to be working with more exactly during this time. But for these two, when it's reunion energy, it's like friendship and lighthearted and wistful and fun and flirty, and not necessarily, we're not to red roses yet, we're to yellow roses. Yellow roses. All right, let's see what we've got on the bottom of the deck. Oh, is that the Emperor? Emperor energy is coming out. Every time I watch a reading, freaking Emperor energy is coming out. Let's get to, let's see. Let's draw from Bubble. Let's get a few more cards. See what else is going on more specifically. What can we share with folks about Uranus retrograde? Advice for them, anything that they should be doing. So I'd like to see the shuffling. That's some light language coming through. Okay, so from Bubble, we've got solo. I told you guys, time to spend some time alone. So it looks like there's maybe going to be more opportunities during this time. And I'm going to put this under this hold me for a while. More opportunities during this time to slow down and to just see what's next for you. See what's calling out to you. Because there's been so many new beginnings lately since the Lionsgate, since July and August, that I feel like we're not really taking the time to integrate and slow down and really feel into what's coming next. So we really did make a quantum leap, a quantum jump right around that Lionsgate time and the week following. And I feel like there really needs to be some time taken each month to unpack all of the downloads and all of the upgrades that came in as a result of that. So let's go to Loveland. This is my spring pack. I'm almost done with the autumn pack. The autumn pack. So there's one of these, 22 cards for each season. So this is spring. There is a summer pack. I never ordered it. And now summer's almost gone. And I'm working on the autumn deck, and the autumn deck is almost finished. So, I don't know, we'll work with that one next. And I'm working on another secret one, hope at the same time as the autumn one. Maybe they'll both be done at the same time. It's called Hive Magic, and it's an oracle deck. I'm really, oh, that many cards? All right. We're going to take these. 1, 2, 3, 4. So the first one we got from Loveland is, this is a nice one. Peace in the heart. As the beings of Loveland looked on, all they could ever want or need was right before their eyes. Peace within you, peace all around you. You are truly blessed. This card has come out, I think it came out in the last reading we did here on the channel. It's like a giant peace dove that's over the entire planet and guarding all of these light workers with its love light and light love. That's all I can say. Peace in the heart. I'm going to pull the camera back just a tad. There we go. The next one we got is a heart. I just said peace in the heart. The angel of the heart is asking you to release the bindings you have placed around yourself. Your heart wants to play and make love light. This is an activation card, and this is all about enjoying life, tapping into your inner child. The bindings around your heart are kind of like that boring adult that you feel like you've become, the ho-hum every day. It's like bring some magic, bring some fun into your everyday. That's advice coming out for right now. It's sitting beneath the I want to reconnect with you card. So I would say too, if there's any of you calling in any type of relationship, that this is opportunities to do even more, you're going to love this, even more healing work to help this out, to help bring this relationship closer together, no matter what it is. So if it's like a passed on loved one coming back to work with you, then there could be forgiveness work, there could be heart healing. And just like peeling an onion, even when you think you've done all the work there is to do, you probably still haven't done it. If you think you've done all the work there is to do, you probably have not done it all. It's just an ongoing process. I don't think it ever really ends through our entire incarnation. And these things wouldn't be coming back to you if there wasn't still work to be done. So if you have something popping up in the 5D, something popping up in the 5D to get your attention, then it's a prime opportunity during this time between now and January to spend some time going within and working with that, we'll just call it guide for lack of a better word, on healing things that still need to be addressed. So we'll just leave it at that. The third card we got is alternate dimensions, when you just know you've met somewhere before. Now this card for me, when it comes out, has a couple of different meanings. So for me, when I work, like my whole day is working in alternate dimensions. Like if I'm writing books, I'm in that dimension. I'm in that storyline. It's not even a story to me. It's like the spirits of my books, because they're all channeled via automatic writing. Like they exist somewhere. They're giving me this story. They're gifting me with this story to share with all of you. Everything I write has a healing intention behind it, has activations built in and so forth. So for me, when I do my soul mission work, which is my writing, my designing and creating, card decks, doing these videos for you guys, that's all my service work. I feel like, I get to play in the alternate dimensions all day long. This could also mean, a couple of things. I set it down over here, which is on the solo, and I didn't set it down over here. So it doesn't have anything to do necessarily with these relationships. It has more to do with and I talked about life purpose. So it has more to do with your life purpose, your soul mission, and what you do unconsciously when you're asleep, when you're daydreaming, where you're going in your head, what visions you're seeing. These are all being, that's a weird way to say it though. They're saying it's all being projected upon you by a higher power, but it's like projected upon you in the sense like they're like sending you your guides and source, the universe, the angels, whoever you work with is like sending you like movie reels, they're saying, of what's to come in your life. So like new doors to your Akashic records are opening up, like your future self, sending you visions and sending you things of what's to come in your future. So even though we just talked about this, even though it feels like a solo journey right now, if you can take this contemplative time alone during this Uranus retrograde, then you're going to be getting a lot of movie reels of what's to come from your future self to give you something to look forward to. But they say you can't doubt it, and you have to feel like, if it all goes back to this time to decide that you're worthy, you have to feel like you're worthy of these things in order to manifest them. So that could also be some of the healing work that needs to happen. The last card from Loveland is, I drew this card this morning. It's You Don't Own Me. It's like the phoenix rising, Linnell primped her hair and spritzed on bubblegum perfume. She would go to the dance without Larry. She was finally free. And that just happens to be placing itself down over here next to the heart healing and things that need to happen in regards to relationship healing. So, Phoenix rising energy coming out, freedom, Maybe once you do this healing work with this other individual or spirit, wherever, however it's coming about, then you'll finally be free of them. The karma will be complete, and you don't necessarily have to circle back to this. Don't say ever again, because I just feel like that's like a promise you can't really say. It's like you'll be completing some good karma by doing this healing work. And even if the other individual, let's say it's a 3D relationship coming back for you to work out, and even if the other person doesn't want to meet you halfway or work with you in the 3D, you can work with them on the 5D, and you can do the healing work that needs to be done to bring yourself peace, bring yourself more prosperity, because anytime you do healing work and service work on behalf of others, your karma, your good karma banks always increase. So, you know, just let yourself have the good fortune if the other party doesn't want to be involved. I'll just leave it at that. We're going to get a final card from Happy Cloud, just because I like Happy Cloud. Let's see what Happy Cloud, any other advice about Uranus retrograde for friends that are watching. Oh, we've got a couple. We've got check in. Your guides are trying to reach you. I swear, you guys, we get this card every single time we have a reading. Check in. Your guides are trying to reach you. I'm going to actually move that down here next to the peace in the heart. And we got power. You are strong. I'm looking at the colors of these two cards. So the check-in, we have heavy sacral chakra with the orange. We've got some blue, like the throat chakra. And with power, you are strong, we've got solar plexus and heart, a little bit of sacral. So there's a lot of work happening between the sacral and the throat, I would say. And we said that earlier. Even the root is kind of tiny. But between the sacral and the throat, and why the check-in, your guides are trying to reach you, it's just further emphasis that, number one, there's more work to be done. And if you can have a little sit down with your guides on a regular basis, outside of, you know, watching card readings and all of that, if you can sit down with your guides, like in a little powwow, a shamanic journey or whatever, set some intentions for what you want to talk to them about, and really let them tell you, just between you and them, not using an intermediary like a card reader or another healer, but learning to trust yourself, because that's what this you are power, you are strong is ultimately all the answers are inside of you. I know card reading, believe me, I can get caught up in this too. I can sit and for hours watch card readings because they're relaxing to me and they're fun. I like to see all the cards. I like the personalities and energies of the different folks that I follow, you know, how they decorate their little aesthetic going on, and I can get all caught up in that, and then I kind of fall into this spiral of like looking for these card readings all the time just because, you know, it's fun to hear it from somebody else. Like it's almost like I don't have to do it myself. I just listen. And it's like, well, the answers are already inside of me. 9 times out of 10, when you're watching things like this, you kind of already knew these answers. You may have been getting intuitive nudges. Your guides may have been speaking to you, but you were too busy, too preoccupied, or just too tired to listen to them. But you've ultimately got, yeah, big chills there, the too tired. I agree with that too. Earlier, just right before this reading, I was like, should I do my own card pull and see what Uranus retrograde is going to bring for me? And I thought, no, I'm too tired. I really did. I was like, I'm too tired to do that. I'm just going to listen to somebody do the reading, and then I'll do the reading for you guys. And I chose a couple, and I started listening to them, and I was like, oh, I so don't resonate with any of it. And so I just turned them off. And I was like, I'll just come back to this later. I'll come back and do my own. So ultimately, you have all the answers inside of you. You don't have to have a card reading. They're just, to me, good fun. they help lift and buoy your spirits. I totally agree with that. When I'm feeling really down, when I feel my vibration has dropped, my go-to is some of my favorite readers who are very high vibe and who have very uplifting messages, and that really does help uplift my spirit. So it's kind of like finding a good balance between trusting yourself and, having fun or whatever. I don't know why card readings is such a big focus right now, because usually the Power You Are Strong card comes out, and this I think is another message for those that Spirit is kind of like wagging a little finger, like usually this card comes out when it's time for you to get moving physically, start a new exercise program, take up one that you started and maybe forgot about or lost track of or felt too tired. And I would say for the majority of the people watching this, everybody that's here is a sensitive soul in some way, shape, or form. Some of you have better stamina than others. Some of you are able to do quite a bit of physical activity / exertion, and it energizes you, kind of like they're saying, it energizes you like no other. And that's where you speak to your guides, is through, like what is running, hiking, swimming. It sounds very vigorous activity. And then there's others of us whose stamina comes in shorter bursts. And so for those of you that are like, I'm just too tired, I can't exercise, or I'm like, if I do exercise, then I either hurt myself or I'm down for like 2 or 3 days afterwards because I'm so sore. You're the ones who are being guided. There's like a weird vibration going on. You're the ones that are being guided to do physical activity in shorter bursts. So for example, like take a walk that's a little bit of a vigorous walk, like choose a path that has some hills or something, but just go a short distance, like, 15, 20 minutes, do those hills and all that, and then come back and rest for a while. And then maybe in the afternoon, or I don't know what your schedule looks like. For me, it would be like in the afternoon, I might do something else. I might do some, because my stamina is like that. It comes in short bursts. I don't have the stamina. I always thought I did, and I always ended up running myself into the ground. But I always thought I was the person to do like the 6-mile runs and I've done 20 and 30. No, I haven't done 30. I've done like 20-mile bike rides before. 4 and 5 hour bike rides with very vigorous course and all that. And I pushed myself because I really wanted to do them. I wanted to prove to myself. So this is a message for somebody out there. I wanted to prove to myself that I could do them. And I did them successfully, but I was always like, it was like way too much taxing of physical power. So for those of you that are more sensitive souls, you have to find a way for your own health, for your own body's physical health and well-being. I'm talking about your cardio, your muscular strength, your confidence, because strength and physical well-being always means increased confidence. You have to find a way to build these things into your everyday. Like maybe you get a stationary bike, or I don't like treadmills, but like a treadmill, and you do like 15, 20 minutes, and you choose like a little bit of an exertion course, and then you do some yin yoga or something later in the day to stretch, and find some ways to work in shorter bursts of activity. You're going to feel better all the way around. Confidence, stamina, your physical body is going to thank you for that, because we can't just sit around all the time like in the spiritual body. We have to work the mental body, the physical body, the emotional body. All these things need a balanced approach. And so I think that is a big thing coming up in this Uranus retrograde in Taurus. All right, I said that was the last card. I'm going to draw one more. I'm going to use the Gil Tarot for our final card. There's some crazy vibration. I don't know what that is. I'm going to have to go check it out. I don't know if it's coming across in this video. Oh, it stopped. I don't know what that was. It's bothering my ears. So you may have heightened sensitivity to things, because I don't know what that is, but I'm going to go check it out. Oh, what in the heck? Why is this our final card? Our final card is despair. The Nine of Swords. All right, well, you know, this is like a person. Oh, it's so dark and black. Why is this the final card? We've got a person heading down a little pathway towards the stars. Their sword. So usually this is a card about worrying about things not working out. And it does look like they're in the shadow of a huge giant sword. Where's that huge giant sword? It's this one right here, which reaches up into the cosmos. I mean, I think it's very literal. It's like, don't despair. This has come up in readings before, this sword kind of up to the sky. It's like you're being watched over by, you starseeds especially. There's a lot of starseeds kind of sadness going on right now. I just keep hearing it over and over and over again, and I'm talking to like different starseeds. And I'm hearing the same messages, a lot about, you know, why am I here? This planet's so hard. It's so difficult to be here. I don't want to be here. I don't even want to, oh, they're giving me big chills. I don't even want to talk about her, about people leaving the planet unexpectedly. Yeah. There's a lot going on right now. Just treat yourself with kindness. Treat others with kindness. You don't know what people are going through. A kind word. If you feel called to serve, if you feel called to serve in any way, then I feel like this Uranus retrograde is also about selfless service, about reaching out to others when you feel like, if you feel guided to reach out to somebody, to just whatever, say like, hey, or, you know, seems like you might be going through a rough time. You know, I'm here if you need me. It doesn't mean that, you know, they will reach out, but I think sometimes just offering of yourself in selfless service. I just keep thinking about them because they keep coming by, and I know they have alternate agendas as well, but I have two missionaries show up on my doorstep for the past couple of days. And there's multidimensional parts to it, I know. So I don't want to get into the organized religion part of it and why they're here and what they're doing and all that. But it was just nice. They came by yesterday, and they're 19 years old, and they were like, we just wanted to see if you needed anything. And I was like, do you have $1 million? And they were like, no. And we just stood outside the door, and we just talked for a couple of minutes, and then they left. And I thought, you know, that was just kind of nice. They weren't trying to force anything on me. They were, and believe me, I understand how these agendas work, and there's a whole other like mind. But I don't want to go to the 3D part of it. But it was just like nice. It was just nice. So, and the same thing, like, I know a couple of people who are going through a hard time right now, and those people are not going to reach out to me. I know they typically would not, because they have worthiness. They have worthiness things that they need to work on. And so I know they're never going to reach out. And so I've been reaching out to them in various ways. Just putting myself out there saying, you know, I'm here. I can help. If you want to, you know, talk to me or whatever, that's all you can do. You can't like change, you know, you can't influence someone in any other way. You can't do the work for them, but you can be there. And I think it's helpful for starseeds, especially, to know that you are not alone. You are here for a purpose. And maybe that's just the type of conversation to have with these folks. It's like, don't despair. You are here for a reason. You just can't see it all yet. And yes, it's hard. We know it's hard. So what can we do? What can you do to make it seem lighter and brighter and more fun? Because it's always going to be hard. There's always going to be something to heal. When you manifest XYZ that you're trying to manifest, and you feel like, wow, what a success. I manifested this person or this job or this place or this thing. Now my life's perfect. Something else some other thing will come along to work with you that is going to seem like, oh man, now I got to deal with this. You know, what is it? And everybody's got something. every single one of us has got their thing that the universe is using to test us and to grow us and to help us become the best bringer of the light that we can be. So I'm going to leave it at that. That's quite a lot of information. And if you want to join me on the TLC for the Soul channel, we are going to dig into this topic in more of like an advanced, extended type reading. We use some different methodologies over there on that channel. And the topic is Uranus retrograde, and it's kind of like almost using Sabian symbols in a way. I'm not sure if you're familiar with it, but the topic of that conversation will be an old sea captain returns home from a long journey. And I will link to that video in this one if you're interested in checking that out on my TLC for the Soul channel. And if not, then I will see you again soon in the next reading. Take care.